Welcome to another Q&A session with our Open Access ambassadors. Today I'm talking to Jan Hennigs. So tell us about yourself, Jan. What are your areas of interest and what stage are you at in your career?
Yeah, hi. I have recently completed my PhD at Cranfield University, where I worked on the nanomembrane toilet, a waterless high-tech toilet for urban spaces without access to conventional sanitation solutions. So yeah, I completed that in July, and in January of next year, I will start my new job as a head of research and development with a wastewater engineering firm in Germany. I'm interested in all sorts of research that could improve the sustainability of how we use, clean, and recycle our water resources. For example, there are some exciting new technologies for phosphorus recovery in development, and phosphorus is an increasingly scarce resource that is absolutely vital for food production. And I'm also interested in making science more accessible, so not just in the field of journal access, but also, for example, in the language that we use in our articles, which is often so dense and convoluted that it's really difficult and nearly impossible for a layperson to understand it. And yeah, I think there are just a lot of traditions in academia that kind of outlive their purpose, and I hope to kind of shake things up a bit.
Okay, great. And why do you think open access is important?
I believe that knowledge should be shared freely, especially if it was created using public funding. So I think, yeah, everyone that through their taxes basically pays for the research that a lot of academics do should be able to access this research. And we can see right this year how incredibly fast the scientific community all over the world could produce vast amounts of knowledge about the coronavirus. And that never would have been possible if they hadn't been able to share their research outcomes with each other like openly and freely. I think because researchers and in private institutions as well, they could share their results freely and build on each other's research results. Only thus we could develop or like know what we already know now. And I think without this open access to the knowledge and the scientific results, we would be much worse off than we are now. And I think that holds true for all fields of scientific inquiry. So when I start my job in January, I will no longer have access to the many journal subscriptions that my university had. And for a private company, it's just unfeasible to obtain all these journal subscriptions. So I will rely heavily upon using open access literature for my future work as well.
Yeah, absolutely. And what are you excited to do as an open access ambassador?
I think I look forward to keeping in touch with my peers in academia that I'm kind of leaving behind now, and connecting them with also with my hopefully future peers in kind of the more private research sector. And I will try to advocate for open access in the private sector as well. So obviously, for a private firm, there are economic interests and like trade secrets to consider, but I think there are ways to secure a patent and then still share your research results freely and openly. And I think I will try and advocate for that in the private sector.
Right. And lastly, do you have a top research or open access tip for young researchers?
Definitely. I would say never be afraid to email the authors of papers. And if they don't reply, keep emailing them. I have never been denied a request for a paper that I couldn't get otherwise, or some background information, but sometimes it took a few emails to get a reply. And that's not because the person you're emailing doesn't want to reply. It's just that academics are notoriously busy and therefore really bad at replying. So yeah, I think if there is an article that you really want to read, but you can't get access to it, just email the author and see if you can get it this way. And if there's an article that you found really interesting and that you want to know more about, also email the author. Always do that. I think, yeah, oftentimes authors are really excited to be talking more about their research, and yeah, just email people.
Okay, well, thank you so much for speaking to me today. It's been great to hear from you.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you for organizing this interview, and thank you for organizing the whole open access ambassador idea.